Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something really important, which is safety skills and things to teach your teen on the autism spectrum. Before we get started, I just want to explain a little bit about who we are. Our team is called Autism Services for Teens and Young Adults. We're licensed occupational therapists, and we're committed to educating parents with children on the spectrum about helping their kids transition into adulthood as they navigate the autism spectrum. If you are a parent or a caregiver, you might be aware that services really drop off very quickly after high school, and there's just not many services out there. So we're seeking to fill that need and provide much needed resources for this community. One really shocking statistic is that 90% of people with autism cannot move out of their parents' homes and live independently, and about 85% do not have employment after becoming adults. So again, this is a huge need that should be filled. Everyone should be able to have a satisfying and fulfilling life into adulthood, and we really believe that these are skills that can be taught and learned. And if you're interested in learning more, we have a ton of resources out there for parents and teens who are navigating the journey of becoming adults. Okay, so before we get started, just a disclaimer, we're not providing any legal or medical advice. This is just an educational video for your reference. So let's get into safety. Number one, really important, is to teach your child to set boundaries. Everyone wants to be liked and to be part of the group, to fit in, but that may make them vulnerable to predators and bullies and people with their best interests not at heart. So we want to teach them about inappropriate, dangerous behaviors, how to recognize people who have bad intentions, and about setting boundaries. So you can start a discussion about boundaries as early as possible as they're growing up. Explain that boundaries are there to protect your child, and that allowing other people to treat them poorly is not a good way to make friends. Real friends would not treat you poorly. And just practice. It's really important to, when you set a boundary with somebody, even with your own child, it's important to name it and identify it and say, hey, do you see that? I just set a boundary. This is my boundary, and you can do the same thing. Modeling that behavior is a really great way to learn. Number two, second safety thing that we should be teaching our teens is about who can help in a crisis situation. Different situations will call for different people to help. So 911 is only for emergencies or crisis situations. Explain examples of what would warrant a call to 911 and when it's appropriate and not appropriate. Helping your teen identify other adults in their life that can help if needed is very important besides you. Anyone who they can maybe come to with a social problem, or a teacher, a coach, a mentor, somebody who is trustworthy, who you trust as well. And identifying how to know if somebody is trustworthy. People on the spectrum, as you might know, tend to really prefer concrete examples and do well with concrete examples, so try to make things as specific as possible. Are there people in your teen's life that can serve as support and assistance? We all really benefit from community, from having a network, and just making sure that your teen knows as many people as possible that they can reach out to for help, I think would be helpful for them and for you, taking some of that caregiving burden off of you. You can't do everything, and It's really good for teens to be able to have more of a neutral source sometimes for advice beyond their parents. And so just identifying those people as trustworthy is important early on in their teenhood. And then other people that will agree to help your teen in the event of a serious situation, talking to those adults in your life, aunts, cousins, people you trust, to be there for your teen in case something happens. Someone who could pick them up in a situation where they don't want to be there anymore, something like that. Talking to those people before and just asking if that's okay with them. If they do have a job, and that's great if they do, identifying those people in the workplace who can help and where to report problems, teaching them about HR resources and managers and how the hierarchy works, who you reach out to first. That is a really important skill to learn and something that the company might not do a great job of explaining when they get hired. And just additionally, any other family members who can help, an older sibling, again, a cousin, somebody who your teen feels comfortable with and who you feel is trustworthy as well. Number 3 on our list of safety tips is to teach your teen about common safety hazards and develop a safety plan. So an example is a fire. What do you do? Who do you call? The basics, stop, drop, and roll, things like that. Never bad to review if they haven't been reviewed before. Another really good one, if this applies to your teen, or even if you don't think they're going to be in this situation, it's good to just go over just in case. You never know. But traveling alone, if you got separated from a group, you feel unsafe, how do you know if a place is unsafe? And what to do if your teen finds themselves in that place where they feel unsafe and they need help. Another really important one for any teen is drug and alcohol abuse, just general, warnings and safety, who to call if someone around you is in need of help or is making you feel unsafe, things like that. Driving under the influence or with friends who are under the influence, and medical issues or medications. Some of your teens may be on some medications just day to day. It's important for them as they get older to be able to manage that independently, and that's part of being an adult is medication management. So helping them understand what the symptoms are, any interactions that they need to be aware of, things that they should look out for, symptoms that are concerning or that they need to tell somebody about. Things like that are really important. And then number 4, our last safety tip is to teach your teen about online safety. This is becoming more and more important, as we know, or as you may have experienced, online scams are definitely on the rise. We spend a lot of our time online, so that means there are more opportunities for people, especially teens who are a little younger and not as adept in the world of scams, to be vulnerable to those situations. So teaching your teen about who to trust online, how to know if something is a scam or someone they're talking to might have bad intentions, and talking about things like checking your bank account, how to double check and make sure that you're being safe online, or buying from a reputable source, not sending money to strangers, things like that. And identity theft as well is something that you can definitely start going over as young as teenagerhood. So these are just some basics to cover with your teen. Obviously, everyone's situation will be different, so whatever applies to your child. There might be more things that we didn't cover, but that's just a good place to start. This is really important to bring up in conversations, start having talks about as soon as you feel like they are developmentally ready to understand those conversations and they start engaging in activities that might just inherently have more risk to them, such as going out with friends without you, things like that. And, this is, it's an important part of becoming an adult, is being taught these safety skills, and we want to just give you some ideas so that you can help kind of mentor them through that and keep them as safe as possible. One really great way to teach is to model behavior. Of course, if you're doing something that is related to safety, you might want to just point that out to your teen and say, hey, this that I just did online, I just got a weird text, but I think it's probably fake, and I'm going to tell you why, and here's what we do next. Things like that are just an easy way to incorporate that into the schedule you already have and help your teen kind of see real-world examples of what you're talking about. Another great way is to point it out in other scenarios. So if you're watching a TV show and someone's being unsafe, or if they're in an area where they feel unsafe, you can talk about, okay, well, why did they feel unsafe here? What was the solution? What could they have done better? Things like that are also a good way to kind of give a better visual and a better understanding of these topics. And then checklists. Checklists are great. They help kind of keep things organized in the mind and help make sure that, we're not forgetting things, they're not forgetting things. So a checklist, for example, for medications they might be taking. What are the symptoms? How often are we taking it? What are interactions that we should be aware of? What are symptoms that we should be concerned about? That's a great example of a checklist that you can incorporate into their life. You can just type it up with them and have them put it up in their room or in their bathroom. So I hope this helps. Keep practicing. It's not going to happen all at once. This could be months or even years in the making of that knowledge base, that foundation of living safely and making good choices. So good luck, and don't give up. Keep trying. Please like and subscribe if you like this video. We're so happy that you watched, and we have so many other blog posts and videos if you're interested in learning more about what we do and any advice that you'd like for us to talk about. Please let us know. We're happy to take suggestions. We're always trying to think of new topics and things to discuss that would be helpful for our clients and this population of teens and their parents who are kind of transitioning to adulthood. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.